What's up, you guys? I am so excited because today I'm having some girlfriends come over and we're doing a potluck white elephant. Today I will be making the main entree, which is braised short rib with a creamy, silky, rich, decadent mashed potato, and it's gonna be fire. Let's get into it. Here I have 17 prime short ribs cut to order at my local butcher's, and we're gonna just season them with salt and pepper for now, like a quick dry brine before we start our mise en place, and then start searing them off. Let's get started. I'm using fine sea salt. We're gonna do each side. I also do a special blend of peppercorns, which is red, white, and black. And this is like my go-to pepper blend that I make myself. For best results, I would do this overnight. I would do this overnight on a rack in the fridge, uncovered, and this will permeate, season the meat inside out. It'll make it taste so good, so much more flavorful. Pat down, and then we're gonna flip over and do the other side. Here I have about 10.5 pounds, and it cost me $18.99 a pound, and it gave me 17 pieces. So I think that's a pretty good deal. For prime cut, that's a great deal for me. All right, now we'll set these aside. We'll finish our prep, and then we will sear these off. So these should be good to go. All right, let's do our sachets. For our braised, we're gonna be making one, and then for our cream, heavy cream, for our creamy mashed potatoes, we'll be making one. So definitely some fresh rosemary, some fresh thyme. I would do about, I don't know, let's go 4 bay leaves or 5, and then parsley as well, and we're going to use the stems as well. It smells so good. I'm thinking if I want to do another thyme. Let's do one more sprig of thyme. And this is for easy removal. I would just tie it up in a bundle, wrap it, wrap it, wrap it, give enough leverage to tie, cut, tie it. So later on when we do remove it, we'll be able to just pick it out easily, quickly. No problems. Now let's make a smaller one for our creamy mashed potatoes. We're definitely using rosemary, a little bit of thyme. You know what? For the mashed potatoes, I only want to use thyme and rosemary because we're going to be using a bunch of garlic as well. I don't want it too heavily fragrant. So a little baby. And there we have it. This will be our little baby sachet for our creamy mash. Okay, let's start our knife cuts. We're gonna start with our mirepoix, which is just celery, carrots, and onions. It's basically 25, 25 to 50, which 50 is the onion part. So let's get into it. I don't wanna cry. So let's get into our celery first. Doesn't matter what size, because we're basically gonna cook it down, strain it out, and make a sauce out of our braised as well. So Okay, let's cut our carrots. I'm leaving the garlic whole. You can just throw it in and peel it out after. Just cut down one and toss it in. Sorry, I see some not good ones up in here. Okay, now let's chop our onion. So I saw this TikTok trend. I'm gonna see if it works. My baby brother says it works, so let's try it out. Not trying to cry. I guess a wet paper towel. My baby brother Paxton, he's a foodie like me, and he told me about this trend. So I'm gonna see if it works, cause I don't wanna cry. Honestly, maybe even half might work. Might be enough. We'll see. Usually I don't have nails on, but my friend got married, so I did it. Literally I'm just supposed to do it right here. Supposedly the tears of the onions soaks up with the napkin. I mean, I'm not crying. Let me just cut the other half and see if this method works. TikTok be having the craziest viral tricks. I mean, I do kind of feel a little, but it's not as bad as I would have been, because I'd be crying. So I bought some pearl onions and I'm gonna throw it in towards the end of the braise. It's gonna be delicious. There's gonna be texture and it's gonna look good. So let's get started. So for our silky creamy mashed potatoes, I'm gonna be using two types of potatoes. We're gonna be using Yukon Gold and russet. My trick, well, not my trick, but I mean, for my life to be a little easier in the kitchen, I always peel them in a trash bag already, or in an old grocery bag. So I'll peel it and it will just fall in. We're gonna be cubing these as well, same size with all the other ones, and throwing it in cold water. And we're gonna salt the water so we can season as we go. And that's how we build the ultimate flavor. On top of that, butter. My fave. Beautiful. Don't make a mess like this. But I wanted to do it quick. So once peeled, we're gonna be dicing them same size, putting them in cold water because that's how you cook it evenly, and you don't want to bring them to a boil. You want to have a simmer so they're cooking evenly again. But I will do this now, peel this later, and then we'll start on the stove. Doesn't matter what size as long as it's literally the same size. Make sure you salt your water. Let me salt my water. Salt it pretty good. Okay, now I'll get back to the other potatoes later. Let's go. All right, guys, we are ready to sear our short ribs in small batches. We want that crust. We want to build a fond. Fond means flavor. And we're gonna be rendering some pancetta. Here we are. And then if you don't have pancetta, you can get some bacon and render that as well. I totally forgot that my ricer was in here while I preheated. You always want to preheat your cast iron. And I've been preheating it for about 20 minutes on low heat. Now let's render our pancetta. You can turn it down a little bit more. I have some beef lard that we can get that going. Oh man, I wish you guys could. We're gonna slowly render the pancetta, get it super crispy, move it out, and then we'll start searing our short ribs. Ah! All right. We're just waiting for it to crisp up. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Don't judge me. Hosting a party is stressful. Ah! Bomb. Careful for oil splatters. So when you're rendering fat or rendering anything, you want to have it, you want to throw in some neutral oil or something to initiate that rendering factor, that rendering part of the process. It'll get the ball rolling, you know what I mean? Ah! So usually I have this like splatter protectant cover, but we out here right now. Okay, we're getting there. There's some color. This is the bowl. Ah! This is the bowl I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna line it with a paper towel and I'm gonna go get it real quick before it burns. I'm gonna turn off the heat for now because it is getting a little crispy and it's gonna have that residual cooking. And I'm gonna take it out. We will be using this again once everything is in, because this is basically like a cured pork, so it's gonna as well bring some flavor that we want. Beautiful, almost there. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, you see it, crispy. Okay. I can eat this all day. It's very salty, but it's gonna bring so much flavor in our braised. I love it. Pancetta. All right, now let's get to searing. All right, let's start on searing our short rib. I lined the sheet tray with a bunch of paper towels so we don't have any moisture. We want as little moisture as possible so we can build that bond, that crust that we're looking for. Let's get into it. For me, I always want to place things kind of like in a circle, clockwise or counterclockwise, so I know which one I place down first. We're not overcrowding the pan, y'all. And we're just sitting it, letting it do its thing. So I'm gonna have the unseared ones over here. And then I'll place the seared ones over here. We're not fully cooking it, so I can put it back in the same tray. I don't want to do too many dishes. Now I'm just letting it go. Maybe doing it like a little pressure, just in case there's like an air pocket that built, so it won't build the crust in that area. So I'm pushing it down. Medium high heat, but we're always adjusting our fire, remember. All right, so it's been cooking for about 1 to 2 minutes. And yes, we are building color. I'm turning, building color. Smells good. Ooh, yes, color. Casey, my baby girl, it's looking good. So this is the crust, the sear that we want. Nice crust. Here's another piece for reference. Wow. We're not fully cooking it. We're just having that good sear. Literally, this is gonna be the most time-consuming part. Well, actually, it's not. Physically, the most time-consuming part, but after we throw in the mirepoix and all of that, cook out the tomato paste, it will literally just be set it and forget it. Oh my God, don't forget to turn on your oven at 325 Fahrenheit, preheated. You like how I chop with my fingers? Anyway, preheated, 325. Casey, come here. Sit. Stay. Casey, come here. Sit. Sit. Stay. Stay. Leave it. Leave it. Go get it. Good girl. Okay, so I'm gonna cook everything off camera and then I'll see you guys soon. Bye. We are finishing up the last pieces and I'm gonna take out some fat. And then we're gonna saute our mirepoix, cook out our tomato paste, and add in our red wine as well. That reminds me, I'm gonna get a can of tomatoes. I have a bowl here to get out excess oil that we won't need because this will be a rich, fatty dish, and we can always add, but we can't take out. Turn off the heat, let's remove everything, and then let's get started. Okay. Now let's throw in our aromatics. It's gonna be our 25 carrots, 25 celery, and 50 onions, sweet onions. And a whole garlic cut in half. We're gonna scrape the bottom, grab that flavor. Let me put this away. Cook it till translucent. We're turning back on our heat. Scraping the bottom of the pan. Getting all that. I'm not sure if I'll have enough space, so I'm gonna actually cook these vegetables down pretty well. We're gonna be needing beef stock today. I usually make my own, but if you don't, that's okay. You know, I went to the supermarket and I found this brand. It has no preservatives, it's 100% grass-fed, and how I really check is I check the ingredients. If the first 5 ingredients you don't even understand or you don't even know, don't buy it, okay? Right here it says beef broth, water, grass-fed beef bones, not beef flavoring, onions, carrots, celery, parsley. Done. This is a good one. So we're going to be using it today. We're almost wilted down. Pretty much caramelizing veggies. Honestly, I hope all of the short ribs fit in here. If it doesn't, Lord. But it has to be perfectly like made. Let's add our tomato paste, cook that out for about 5 minutes, and then let's deglaze with our red wine. Probably about half of this. You know what? I want a little more. Everyone's different. We adjust to our own preference. But if you want, I can write out the recipe for you. I totally forgot. I didn't learn this in school, but as a spice, I am going to be adding a little bit of red pepper flakes. Just a little bit. It wouldn't be a bee's recipe without some red pepper flakes. All right. So our tomato paste is caramelizing. It's looking good. We're cooking it out pretty well. We're building extra fond. Let's turn down the heat a little bit. When you're cooking out your tomato paste, it brings out the sweetness instead of the acidity. Pretty much cook it out of it. Nice. Now that it's being cooked out, let's deglaze it with some red wine. Now I'll probably do half a bottle, scraping all of that goodness on the bottom. Okay, I'll probably do like 75% of the bottle. You know what? I'll do the whole bottle and just give myself a little sip. You don't have to use a really good wine, but I would say use a red full body wine. My favorite, learned from my friend Nano, is Justin. Justin is bomb. Okay. I see everything thickening. I'm gonna just start scraping everything just so I can get as much flavor as possible. Let's turn down the heat and then we're gonna add everything in. Top it off with our organic beef broth. Add our aromatics, cover it, and throw it in the oven at 325 for 3 hours. Then we'll move on to our silky mashed potatoes. It looks like it's gonna fit perfectly. Thank the Lord. Okay, beautiful. Okay. So we're at a medium-low simmer right now. We're gonna top it off with organic beef broth. We're gonna cover everything. We'll actually do it for 2.5 hours. Pull it at 2.5 hours, and then I'm gonna add our pearl onions in. Okay, let's bring it up. Ooh, we'll add our pancetta as well for extra seasoning. And then our little herb sachet, we'll nestle her in there as well. I just want a little bit more kick. And that looks beautiful, you guys. There's gonna be a lot of fat from the short ribs because it's a fattier cut. So we're gonna skim it off after. Cook it down and make a very rich sauce to go over. Now let's get started on our potatoes. Okay, so let's start our potatoes. I'm gonna turn it on to high, and once it reaches semi-boil, I don't want it rolling boil at all. Once it reaches a little semi-boil, I'm gonna turn it to medium, and then we'll cook it for 25 to 30 minutes or until it's pork tender. And then after that, we'll rice it, and then we'll heat up our cream. We're about almost rolling boil on this. I'm actually gonna try it a little bit. And this is nowhere close to being done. I just want to try it and see where we are. Woo, yeah, there's a kick already. A little bit. I think it's because I scooped up the chili flakes. But flavor is good. Wine needs to cook down. Everything needs to be reduced. Everything's gonna be great. What I tell myself every day. We are pretty much at our rolling boil. I definitely want to get this in the oven, so let's get into it. Oh my god. Heavy. Now I'm gonna set a timer for 2 hours and 30 minutes. There's our timer. So we're almost bringing in, heating it thoroughly. All right, 3 hours later and we are finally finished. Let's see how it looks. Wow. I'm gonna put this lid away and I'll be right back. It smells so good, beefy. I can tell that the wine has already cooked out. The meat is contracting from the bone, so I know it's tender. I'm so excited to try this. Let's dig into it. We're gonna take out all the meat. Let's actually test it to see if it goes in easily. It's done. Okay, let's take it all out and then we'll reduce the sauce. Some of them already fell off the bone. Flavor's good. Super tender. So I'm gonna set this aside and then I'm gonna reduce this stock to make a sauce with it. I'll be right back. Okay, I have some of my friends helping me because I need it. I'm gonna strain this stock right now. I hope this goes well. Okay, that's it. That's all I need. So I'm gonna add the pearl onions and the carrots, and then we're gonna reduce it halfway. I'm probably gonna remove some stock too to just speed up the process. So I've reduced the sauce to halfway, and then I added butter, and I emulsified it, and look at this sauce. And we're looking for that nappe. So good.